One.
All right. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's me. Welcome back to Heroes in Training. This is episode 19, I think.
Yes.
We're getting up there.
We got to stop at
last
about
left off
22 to 25. That's usually where an anime about this style ends.
Except an anime episode is 24 minutes, but really like 10, and ours are 3 hours.
We could condense each of these episodes into a 22-minute episode. I'm sure.
Yeah, we could for the anime adaptation.
If it was animated,
it'll be pretty flawless.
We probably could do
exactly.
that.
Yeah. Okay, so last we left off was kind of cliffhangered at like the start of phase 3, but we're gonna get some scenes before that because that's how animes do things. One thing to note, Bastion has 3 demerits, not 2. We forgot to add one.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to think there should be some sort of consequence at a certain point in time.
I thought it was when we. I mean, maybe I'm just making this up. But I thought it was when we reached 5. There was like a big consequence.
So,
I thought there was one.
Yeah,
already.
there could be. Yeah, that might be a good point for that. I'm not sure what that looks like yet, but I just started realizing there's quite a bit of
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Well, that would be so at 10, you just permanently removed from the system,
The program.
So I wonder maybe at 5 there'd be some sort of like community service thing, right? Like you got to wash one of the teacher's cars or something like that.
Yeah, let's go. As long as it's the clone lady.
Yeah, let's not take that in direction.
That was my.
She can wash her own car pretty easy. She has like 500
I
of
forget
her.
that when I start something, everyone else will finish it.
It's the principle that matters.
Yeah, sure.
The principle is the thing.
Who is
Sometimes
the
I forget
principal's
that when
pretty
I
high,
start
right?
something, it.
I think the principal's a guy.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah,
we're washing a guy's car. That was the joke, anyways. I mean, I know you said the lady's car. But
so,
original joke.
Is
It's
that
not cool for things to be gay anymore, David.
Oh.
So we can't go that direction.
Oh, okay.
How about that, Gail? Is that good enough?
Yeah, it is good enough.
That's actually exactly where it was before, but okay. So let's.
Yeah, I think you might have been too close to it last time or something.
Yeah, probably.
You are in like the bottom right corner of your camera for some reason. I don't know if that matters, but.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
David, Left Wing needs to get another demerit quick, so we're at the same level, so we can do community service together.
Okay, we go out into the next phase, and I'm just.
The next class needs to be Angel's class.
Just butt naked, and
maybe we'll do something at like after the tournament. Maybe your punishment's coming. All right, so let's take a look at some individual scenes. Who kind of wants to go first? Everybody has a scene that we're gonna kind of get like it's like during the day before the tournament or maybe the morning of the tournament. Depending on what makes sense. Anybody want to start us off?
Is this about who we're taking with us, or does it?
No. So we're gonna get that scene probably like in the tournament afterwards. But you guys probably forgot. Each of you have. I put it in the chat. It was probably like Sunday. Like a little scene I wanted to get before each person.
I remember. Yeah, they're gonna talk crap about me on live TV. Yeah, we'll start with me. I think that's an appropriate lead in, anyways, right? We get like a TV show.
Yeah, sure.
Think about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we can do that. Let's Left Wing, where would you be? Maybe this is the morning of the tournament. Where would you be as you're like waiting for the tournament to get started? Are you like hanging out in the secret lair maybe?
Yeah, I like to think I'm like I don't know. Honestly, he might just be relaxing because like the previous time has been wild and
got some surge.
Yeah,
we got a relaxation corner with beanbags.
Yep. Yeah, he has some surge and some like I don't know. What's it? I don't actually drink, so I don't know. There's got to be like a clean, like an alcohol you can drink that you should, normally it's not what it's meant for, right? Like Like you can't drink rubbing alcohol or like mouthwash.
Cooking bourbon.
Right?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, cooking bourbon. Something. Anyways, some kind of alcohol you can get from like a grocery store, and he's just like pouring it into the surge.
Fermented orange juice.
No, what?
He's making toilet wine.
There you go. Yeah. And all of the above.
Great. Maybe it's just mouthwash. He's just pouring mouthwash into the like surge. Anyways, yeah, he's just like watching TV or something. He's like, "Hey, Emperor, turn on the."
Emperor. Yeah, Emperor, you want to turn on the TV? Emperor just like whatever you say, left wing, and like starts broadcasting like the
man, this rocks.
yeah. A little taste of 2020 life.
Yeah, right. Smart TV.
Yeah. I think you see kind of like maybe like a panel of people, kind of like ESPN, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're all just like hero. They're probably more just like news broadcast people. They're not, or like news like.
Maybe it's like a sports thing. Maybe they're retired heroes.
Yeah. Maybe there's that. Yeah, maybe it's a bunch of retired heroes that are kind of chatting about.
Name? We need to know what's important.
Actually, no, I don't think there are any really retired heroes yet because it hasn't been long enough. So we're just gonna say there's just news, like different like talk show hosts from like a news anchor or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of people who think they know what they're talking about.
Right. That's exactly that. Yeah. And they start talking about like how the next phase is going to be. They're like, phase 3 is they just here. Let's do this. We're here live at the stadium for the Heroes in Training tournament. Phase 3 construction has just finished. Architect is just making his way back up to the what's that called, the box thing, but back up to where he'll announce the for phase 3. Everybody's getting ready. The tension is just unbelievable here from the crowd. Let's kind of take some of this momentum. Let's take a moment to look back on some of the moments from just the other day with phase 1 and 2 for the tournament. And I think overall, like Palladium is really high up there. Bastion is really high up there of like people are talking about like the incredible things that they've done. Mm-hmm. Everybody's hyped up about Emoticon, but I think the way that they present Emoticon is they're like, we're looking to see some more from America's number one most anticipated hero.
People know he's Heartbeat's son, right?
Yeah. Yep. So he's he's been a celebrity for a long time.
Yeah, I point at the TV and I say to Emperor, I'm like, man, all you got to do is have a famous dad, and you could be just the biggest screw up. It's wild. People still love you.
I don't think Emperor says much to that. I think he just is like hanging out, just letting you think whatever, and or maybe he like maybe he has like a sympathy agree, right? He's like, of course, I couldn't agree more, left wing. But you get the feeling that he's just saying that.
Yeah, he's just patronizing.
Yeah. And then we kind of they kind of wrap up talking about some of the crazy things that have happened. I'm sure Thunder is up there too. As like, what a crazy moment from Thunder! Wow, this is probably the most rewatched online moment was Thunder destroying that giant mech. Now let's take a moment to talk about probably everybody's least favorite hero right now, and we go over to like one of the other guys, like absolutely.
We hear out in the crowd.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. Let's talk a little bit about Left Wing.
What? That's racist. What?
Yeah. He says, it's just absolutely incredible. I mean, the kind of people that they find these days to be heroes. I mean, everybody else seems like they really want to be here, but Leftwing, it's almost like he's trying to mess things up for himself. I mean, look at how he is attacking these other sidekicks.
I beat them all single-handedly. What is wrong with these people?
Just complete disregard for how heroes ought to act in today's day and age. No heroism. He's the closest person to act like a villain we've seen. We've ever seen. Somebody else like chimes up and says like, yeah, his arrogance reminds me of Morningstar, and everybody kind of laughs. And I think you get the feeling, and maybe like we get some like, I mean, social media isn't a thing nowadays, but like maybe you just get some like shots of them talking about like different news articles that have been written by like big name media outlets and stuff like that. Like New York Times has written an article like Leftwing heroes in training's biggest screw up, or people are definitely like laying into you.
I have more stars than anybody else in this program. Excuse me, sir.
And I think one of the other things they say is and this is probably where I don't know, you might turn it off at this point, but somebody chimes up and says, well, you can't expect too much from the only person in the Celestial Seven that got there from being a villain. The only hero in our entire program that used to be a villain. I mean, what else can you expect from her sidekick? And I think some of the other people are kind of uncomfortable as he says that, but they don't disagree, right? And that's just kind of the vibe. Is it's painting. You get the picture that they're really laying into you, but it's also that image is putting a bad name on Countess.
So you're watching MSNBC. That's your first mistake.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think maybe they probably just start like wrapping up that program. They probably like cut to a commercial from there.
Okay, thanks. Sorry.
No, you're good. I think Palladium. Let's cut to you next. I think
sure thing.
I think so. You were able to go home night of, but I think when you got home, everybody was asleep. And so let's catch you morning of, like you're waking up in your own bed and hanging out.
Did I see that I had like a bunch of missed calls?
Yes, you did.
I think I would probably have written out a note maybe to like put on the kitchen table or the counter or wherever like she's gonna see it first thing when she wakes up or whatever.
Sure. Yep.
So I have it in writing what my like excuse was or whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'll just say Leftwing stole my phone. not saying Leftwing, but
Well, actually, Caleb, why don't we get a roll from you? Enough time has passed. There's been enough episodes. Right. Why don't we get a
mundane?
Why don't we get another mundane roll from you?
All right. Well, we're only sitting at -1. Dang, I really need to switch my labels. Somebody should tell me how. Too? Oh, darn. How am I angry again? When did that happen? Didn't I hurt someone or break something important?
Oh no, you got it. You got it after that session. I think it was because of what Thunder said to you. Remember, you tried resisting her influence.
Yeah.
Right.
Darn it.
Kind of an all-time low for Palladium, I think.
Yeah. Game face. I commit myself to save my save face.
Well, you can mark a condition. You know that, right?
I know. I'll just roll. This is not going to go well. Like I could switch my mask's label, But I don't want to do that. We got stuff to do. Though in all fairness, am I going to be defending that much? Man, I really
depends on who you choose.
Failing also gets you potential.
I also know exactly who I'm going to choose, by the way, Connor.
Oh, you do?
I do.
Yeah. Nice.
It came to me in a dream. All right, here we go. Mundane. Hey, at least I got a hit.
Hey, yeah, there you go. Partial hit.
Nice.
On a 7 to 9, you've lapsed on one obligation, your choice. So it's school, your girlfriend, and your sister.
I mean, just in the narrative.
You have lapsed on your sister.
Right. I guess I just have to choose that, right? It doesn't really make sense to choose the other ones.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, it makes the most sense.
So, so you left a note last night so that when they wake up, they know you're home. Is that what the note was?
Yeah. So if one of them wakes up first, if either the like caretaker comes over or if she wakes up, if my sister wakes up, like there's an explanation as to why I was gone or whatever. And I'm basically going to be like I got hazed at school or something, right? Like a friend stole my phone. And it was a whole big thing.
So I think what happens is you're laying in bed, like you just woke up, but you're in kind of like that sleepy state before you pull yourself out of bed, and the door slams open, and it's your sister.
Whoa! Haven't we ever heard of privacy?
She's like, I can't believe you. You didn't even return my calls. You haven't been home in 3 days.
I didn't have my phone.
I thought you were dead. I almost called the police.
Well, don't do that. That would there's no need to do that.
What happened?
I wrote it out in a note for you so that we wouldn't have to have this conversation in my boxers. But you saw there was a note.
Yes, but of course I didn't.
And you refused to read it.
Yeah, I saw your name on it. And I came right in here to get the answer straight from you. No lies. What happened?
And you didn't think that maybe being home so late and leaving a note meant that I needed some sleep. Maybe I was in a terrible car accident and I needed to rest.
If you were in a terrible car accident, you should be in the hospital.
That's a fair point. Listen, I laid it out in the note for you. It's going to be way more eloquent than me at 6:30 a.m. It's what day is it? Like a day of the week?
Maybe a Wednesday.
Okay, so let's say 5:30 a.m. is when she wakes me up. 5:30 a.m.
That's up to you. Yeah, sure. I think she's like, I just was really worried. So what happened?
And I start.
Are you in some sort of trouble? Are you running away from the cops? Did you kill somebody?
I
did tell you not to call the police like a drug dealer would.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking at her like ready to do the same lie that I put in the note. I don't know if Palladium can bring himself to do it. She seems sincere, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Though I guess all the things she's spouting off are like fake things. Like she knows what I actually was doing.
Well, not really. She doesn't she knows that you're a hero and you don't know that, right? But like she doesn't know that you were in an attack.
That's true.
So usually, you let her know you're okay.
I think I'll probably try to do as close to the truth as I can without revealing that I'm a hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I basically just say, I didn't want to worry you. I was involved in a villain attack. But as you can see, I'm fine. I just didn't get a lot of sleep last night.
You were what? A villain attack? Where? Yeah. When? How? Who?
I'm trying to rack my brain.
When?
What can I tell her about this story that will make sense? Because it's like, yeah, I also need to explain why I was even out in the first place, right?
I think she like, you're hesitating, like you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And she's just like, she just starts like spiraling. She's just like, I can't believe you. We've been through so much as a family. Our parents are dead, John. Don't you know that? And you're just out and about, screwing around, getting attacked by villains. And I'm just here, just waiting to know you're okay.
I was out getting coffee. And I want to establish right now, this is something I've been thinking about for a while. I want to establish that Palladium, the reason that he drinks so much gas station coffee, and like we always have seen him with like the same like cheap little plastic like cup from a gas station or whatever,
sure,
right?
Yeah.
And he's always drinking a lot of coffee, right? I think I'd like to say that like the day that my dad died, the day that our parents died, like one of the last things
he was drinking that coffee.
One of the last things he did. Well, so I think we had not a routine. What's the word I'm looking for? Family
tradition.
Tradition, yeah. We had a tradition, me and my dad, where he would always get this really cheap gas station coffee because he was always up late working on his research, and I would always beg him for a sip of my coffee, and he always told me, "When you're older, you can have some of this coffee."
Yeah, so maybe we get that flashback before you answer.
And like one of the things, like I think we just see a picture of like little Palladium just staring at like, I guess maybe I think it would have been like, I don't know how realistic this is. I'm imagining him staring at the car accident. Oh no, were we in the car when the car accident happened? How did that all go down?
I don't think so. I think we should probably get a shot of like you're at the crime scene.
That's what I was imagining, right? I'm at the crime scene, and I just see the coffee cup like rolled away from the cut lines, like spilled out onto the concrete or whatever. Right, that's what I'm imagining.
And then there's like a cop that sees you and is like, get him out of here, get him out of here.
Yeah. And so when I say that means something to her, right? So it means, and maybe we can say, can we establish this? Can we establish this close to our parents' anniversary, the anniversary of their death?
Sure. Maybe it was yesterday.
Yeah.
And maybe you both know, but nobody says it, right?
Yeah. So that's all I say.
So you're out getting coffee?
I was out getting coffee.
Oh, that's all you say?
That's all I say.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. Hoping that I think she like this conversation.
Yeah. I think she like had gotten really close to your bed as she was like yelling at you. And then she just goes and like sits down near your feet and like pulls her feet up in like a cross-legged position and just says like, yeah. Okay.
I think I need to mark guilty. I'm using our parents' death to get out of telling my sister I'm a superhero, and also I probably do feel guilty for not thinking about it as much as I'm letting on, like the anniversary, as much as I'm letting on to my sister. And I'm like, I probably should have thought more about that.
You do have insecure already.
That's true. Okay.
I mean, you have 3 conditions.
All right. Well, as long as you let me get away with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you get away with it. I mean, I could see you changing angry to guilty or something like that if you wanted to. If that makes more sense, that would be worse for you for sure.
It would be worse for me. So let's leave it as is.
Yeah, I'm not trying to force you into. I mean, you did fail this role though, right? Or not fail, but you lapsed on this obligation.
Yeah.
I think then. Well, go ahead if you got something.
Yeah, I had another thought. I was trying to think. So I said, I was out getting coffee. I got caught up in the villain attack. Never mind, it's gone. There was something that came to my mind earlier, but
here's what she says.
Yeah.
Can we at least go to the tournament today together?
Okay. Yeah, that's close to breaking me.
Actually, I don't think she doesn't say that. She says, I think she instead says, so you won't be at the tournament today then, huh?
I don't like lying.
Neither just Peter Parker.
Yeah. You won't be at the tournament today. Man, I don't know what to do.
I think she says, well, I guess maybe just something for you to think about that I've been thinking about. Well, this tournament has kind of really inspired me. I'm thinking I might join the HIP program. What would you think if I did?
Does she have powers?
No, remember.
No, she doesn't.
Powers.
That's how she would get
give
powers.
people powers when they or they try. Right? It's there's a chance nothing will happen.
Yeah.
Honor, you're evil.
I think I say after last night, I don't want you anywhere near that program. I don't want to come off as overbearing. I'm not, Dad. Listen, you're worried about me. Well, don't make me worry about you, too.
Wait, say that again. Say that last line again.
You're worried about me. Don't make me worried about you, too.
Make them roll.
Yeah. Why don't? Yeah, Caleb.
Well,
why don't you roll?
Here's the question though. Like, is she actually being honest about like she's going to try to get into the HIP program? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's thinking about it. Yeah.
I was thinking she was trying to again just fish for like no, tell me the truth rather than okay.
I mean, that's part of it too, right? But it's a little bit of both. She is seriously considering it
because then she could find out.
This is comfort or support. I don't think this is provoke. Unless you have an argument for that. I guess it depends on what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Are you trying to...
I don't have influence over her. If I did, I would be trying to shift her, like the equivalent of shifting her labels or whatever. I would be trying to like get her to not be reckless or whatever, right?
Sure. Down.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it sounds like you're trying to convince her not to do something, right? Which sounds more like provoke. Provoke is about getting them to do or not do something.
Yeah, I suppose. And I think that's fine. Yeah, you're provoking her.
I think the other one is more about finding out what they want and stuff.
Yeah,
which she's just told you. So,
well, comfort or support would be different than pierce the mask.
Yeah, I do think it's. I do think it's still provoke.
I agree. I agree.
And I have a.
You have a +1 in that, and you don't have a condition that'll. I don't
have a condition.
Put that down.
Unfortunately, it's not a 2 like it should be because Connor. All right, here we go. Hey,
full hit.
Wow.
Yeah, I think she.
Well, what is it?
You don't know that she's reading between the lines.
They do what you want.
But she is, right? I mean, that's what really gets this. Is on a 10+ they rise to the bait and do what you want. So she knows what you're saying, even though you don't realize you're communicating that to her. I know that's a hard thing to explain.
Yeah. She sees through the lie to what you're actually saying, which is I'm already in danger. Don't put right.
And so she's just like, yeah, I suppose both of us in danger wouldn't be better.
I don't think that. I think it goes over my head. Like I just assume she's saying.
Well, that might be a pierce the mask roll.
Yeah, maybe.
That's a little bit like her assuming that you'll continue to be in danger is a little weird.
Yeah.
Just generally.
Yeah. The questions make sense here. Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fail this roll.
This is definitely her slipping up.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Yep.
Oh, so close.
Wow. Potential.
Yeah. Oh man. Yep.
Can I have her help me by spending a team? No, I don't think so. Yeah, so I think it just goes over your head, right? I mean, I can't think. I mean, I guess I'm not really gonna
Well, I think the soft move here is that we can maybe see. What I would probably do here is give us some foreshadowing as to what she's going to plan on doing. Now that I've convinced her not to go to the HIT program, but what is she going to do now?
Sure. Yeah. Right. Well, I think maybe she just says
because one of the GM moves is like show us the future of like
where that's a good point. I think what she says is well, the HIT program was going to answer all my college questions, but because now I really have to figure out what I want to do, and I don't know. Nothing really seems to interest me anymore. Not like it used to.
I hate this so much. Because like part of it is like it wouldn't matter that she knows I'm a hero, except for the fact that like the HIT program itself has sworn me to secrecy about like the alien stuff, and I can't give that away. Okay. I think I'm convinced. Like Palladium is convinced at this point that I need to go to Marty and start and be like, okay, can I just tell my sister like this is too far? Like,
yeah. Okay, so let's maybe cut from there. Let's get a scene where you're back at the school facility and you're marching towards Marty, and you're about to talk it through with him.
Yeah.
So we do that. We get that scene, right? You're marching towards Marty, and right as you get close enough, you realize that who's right behind him is Bastian, and you can go up and say whatever, but he's going to interrupt you.
You're saying Bastian's can say whatever, and I'll interrupt him.
No. You can say whatever. Marty's going to interrupt you, Bastian. Or
got it.
Palladium.
Yeah. I say, Marty, can we talk?
Yeah, so I think you say that, and then you see Bastian behind him, and he says, actually, that's what I'm just about to do with Bastian here. We have some mandatory therapy session.
I don't need a stupid therapy session. What I need is...
No, I mean, me and Bastian. And you're not invited?
It will take a minute.
I think he looks at Bastian.
I shrug. I don't care.
Sure. You've got 1 minute. Bastian, you mind waiting down here for a minute, and you can come back. You can come in when Palladium's done.
Bastian goes and collects carbon.
Well, what I thought you were going to say is Bastian goes and asks Emperor to listen in.
Bastian's not a perv. He doesn't.
Nothing pervy.
He's not a peeping Tom.
Yeah.
Okay. So you sit down with Marty. Marty says, all right. Actually, you both see this. He goes over to the keypad on the door or whatever and tries to scan his badge. And it goes, and he goes, oh, unbelievable. I thought they fixed this. Yes. Somehow, I guess my name got removed from the system. I guess the whole system doesn't think I'm an agent anymore. Unbelievable.
Is he fired?
No, you deleted all of his employee profiles.
You did, Bastian.
That's even better. I go up and say I'll fix it, and I just touch it, and then it works.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
No, I'm kidding.
Okay.
I just wanted to give you a little heart attack.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's fine if it's just bad for you.
As a note, Jared, your mic is really quiet, so make sure you're projecting when you're on the headset mic.
Yeah, I think he has to. I think maybe a different agent's walking by, and Marty's like, "I need to just borrow this for a second." And takes his key card and scans it and says, "Thanks." And the agent's just like what? That's so not allowed. And then he goes into the room, and I think it's just like his office, right? You just like sit down.
Sure. I don't sit down. I'm standing up, and I just say, "I'm going to tell my sister I'm a superhero."
I think there's like a bunch of villain profiles like scattered across the desk, and he's like carefully it's like trying to pick up all of them, and so you can actually like sit down. And one of them is like Shatter, one of them is King, and he like shoves it all onto like this little this little shell or like a drawer, and he says, "So you can't do that. Definitely not. That would be against the rules and very dangerous for everybody involved."
Why? I'll just tell her I'm a normal hero, and the armor is something that you guys cooked up. That's it. That's all it needs to say.
Okay,
that's all that needs to be said.
You knew what this was when you signed up. We turned you away at first, remember? And you knew that if you were going to be trained by Vulcan, this is what it was going to take. You can't just decide that you don't like the rules anymore. You already agreed to them.
I'm tired of lying.
Well,
I hate lying. I have to do it to everyone.
Believe me, I know what you mean. Sit down.
I finally do.
Listen, I know that I'm like your superior or whatever, but honestly, you and Leftwing and Bastion, I mean, you guys are like my closest friends, honestly. So believe me when I say, I get it. I get what you're going through. I understand that sometimes in life we get to a point where you look back and you ask, did I make the right decision? Am I living the life I want to live? And believe me, I've thought that plenty of times, all the time, actually. But at a certain point in time, you just have to trust that the past you knew what he was doing, and that you're on the right path. Because if you keep going down this road of second guessing your every decision, I mean, you're never going to really enjoy life.
Marty, it sounds like you're talking more about yourself than me at this point.
It does? Crap, yeah. I was never good at this whole therapy thing. Listen, you can't tell your sister, and it's not because I said so.
What if I do? What will happen?
They'd probably have a trial. No, I don't think you understand. Okay, listen. The demerits thing, it's just kind of like it's kind of like Santa Claus, man. It's not like, listen, if you were to break the rules that egregiously, they would probably remove you from the program entirely. There would be a trial. They would decide your fate. I mean, it would be, believe me when I say this would be the worst thing you could possibly do for yourself. But maybe there's another way. Maybe what if she joins the HIT program?
No, we already had this conversation. No, not you, Marty, not you too.
He's like, oh, we did?
I don't want her in danger. She doesn't need that in her life. She has to worry about me enough, and I can't explain anything to her.
Well, if you don't want to explain anything to her, or I'm sorry, if by explaining things to her would make her afraid for you, don't you think explaining even more would make her more afraid?
At least she would understand that going into the HIT program herself is a terrible idea.
Wait, I'm sorry. Who are we talking about right now? Your sister wants to join the HIT program?
Yeah, she mentioned it to me.
That's great. Day. Listen,
no, Marty.
If she joins,
Marty, that is not an option.
But why? Doesn't that solve all of your problems?
Sure, but it creates a whole new one.
Yeah, and what's that?
I don't want to lose another family member, Marty.
What, so you think she can't handle her own? Oh, you think that your power will be more powerful than her power, and then you have to look after her all the time? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Maybe she's a dud. And you still get to tell her. not the alien part, but
the worst that can happen, Marty, is that she dies on duty, and it's directly a result of me having to lie to her, pushing her towards this.
Palladium, that could happen any day. That could happen to anybody here. Do you think we should all just go home? Oh, that's it. Bad guys win. They could kill us. Like, what? They could kill us every day. I've almost died, like, basically every time I've been on a mission with you guys.
Just because people can die every day does not mean that we need to make a soldier out of everyone. Okay? I don't like the world. I wouldn't like the world if that's what we had to do. We're heroes so that people like my sister don't have to be like this.
Then do your job well. Part of that is keeping secrets. If you don't like it, there's nothing I can do to change that.
I'm thinking,
and if I were to tell you that you could tell her the truth, well, I'd be out of a job too.
I'm thinking maybe Marty's doing label switching here.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely
that's typically
doing
what
that.
The adults do with this sort of conversation.
He's for sure. He's just telling you how the world works, right?
Yeah. I influence Marty, though, by the way.
So you get a chance. You get a bonus to resisting his influence. So.
I say, Marty,
what he would be moving.
Marty, I chose you to be my teammate in the maze.
Then Marty rips off his shirt. He's like, "You chose." Well, I guess right in this case.
Yeah,
like, super ripped. And
Paperboy is back.
I was thinking like Boomy, but I forgot that was a bad thing for him. This would be a good thing for you.
Yeah. Trying to think of what he's actually shifting. He's telling you how the world works.
He wants you to keep secrets. I would think maybe superiority up.
I was hoping that would be the case.
Yeah, maybe he's affirming your hero identity, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's almost like he's putting savior up and mundane down. Because superior feels weird. Because like superior
he's telling him to be smart. If he was saying, "Hey, don't tell her, she'll be in danger," then he'd be savior. But he's actually telling her to put her in danger.
Superior and mundane.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I wanted. I just accept the influence. Go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Yep.
Game in the system,
dude. 4D chess move. Nice.
As soon as he started saying like
work out like this,
I didn't. But as soon as he started saying like, you need to tell secrets and be smart. Like I was like, oh, okay, superior is could be here.
Yep. Yeah. Okay.
So that's what happens when I just don't resist it, right? Is you just switch one up and down?
Yep.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Yeah, good job. So you accept it, right? So that's another thing though, is narratively you're accepting this is truth, right? You don't have to like it, but you're accepting this is the way the world works, right?
Yep. I do think that like Palladium might get to a point if it like escalates further with his sister that he blurts it out anyway and then says like, okay, well, you have to keep this top secret. Like I was not supposed to tell you, but like for now he'll shut up.
Yeah. He nods. Okay. Now that we've got that resolved, I kind of have to talk to Bastian about how we killed somebody. So maybe you could give us a minute.
Sure. I think Bastian's probably fine though.
Yeah, well, I think that's part of why I need to talk to him.
Fair enough. All right, thanks, Marty. I'll think about what you said.
Go ahead and let him in on your way out. I can't really open the door.
Why can't he open the door?
I deleted him from the system on accident.
Oh, okay. I thought he meant physically. Did he break his arms or something? Okay, right.
Well, his power only works on paper, so.
Sure. Is every door in this place like cyber locked?
Biometrically?
Well, this is an office, so that's for sure cyber locked. Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Does the key card I stole work on it?
Do you still have it?
I assume you gave that back, right?
I mean, it never came up.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose if you want to say you still have it, it kind of doesn't matter because Emperor can just do that anyway. So, sure, that's maybe just another piece of evidence for them to like have against you.
The Emperor cloned the card and you gave it back, but now he's just really fast. Apparently, that employee is just really fast. He's opening doors across the facility randomly.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so I head up.
Yeah. So you let Bastien in. Bastien, do you take a seat?
We need to go back to what Bastien was doing during this meeting.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead.
Oh wait, never mind. I forgot. Burn ends at the end of the scene, so I can't do
that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can burn for this.
Never mind. Bastien goes in.
Yeah. Do you sit down?
Yeah, he's just chill.
Yeah. So I think Marty says, "All right. So listen. So basically, they asked me to. Well, you see, Bastien.
Okay, I'm sorry. I still have the key card. I forgot to give it back, and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah. He says,
"Oh, I give him the key card."
Oh, great! Good job. Thank you. So that's not what I wanted to talk to you about, but listen. I know that this might be a hard conversation for you, but we kind of have to talk about how you killed somebody. Can you tell me a bit more about how that happened? Well, and you're not in trouble about it. It's just,
okay.
This is about you. I want to make sure that we all want to make sure that in your head, you're going to be okay.
I'm fine. I mean,
killing somebody changes you.
Well, I mean, the first couple times, yeah.
His eyebrow goes up. Actually, no, he would know that, right?
Yeah, I'd assume so.
Yeah, I think maybe he goes, right. You've already done this before. I understand that the more it happens, I shouldn't say it happens, the more you have to do that, the harder or the easier it gets. But that's not always a good thing, Bastien. I don't want you to have to think about it all the time, play it over through your mind again. I want you to be able to let it go and understand that you did the right thing. But in order for us to do that, we got to talk about it. Will you talk about it with me?
I guess, but Marty, the only thing that plays over in my head is when I hesitate and bad things happen. And I already I've got a firm line. I don't know how, but I think I could have killed all of them if I'd wanted to in that instance. But
his eyebrows go up.
King isn't a murderer yet, or I mean, it's at least debatable whether or not he should have, with the whole whisper and muzzle situation. But Shatter tried to bomb kids, kill me, my uncle, and my friends. So there's not much regret there.
Just so you understand the lines you're drawing here, if you're the one that gets to decide, even if your lines are firm, what happens when, I guess, what's the difference between you and king if you decide to kill somebody because you think they deserve it. You're not talking as if it was necessary. You're talking as if you were the judge.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. Wait, is the death penalty a thing in this country for
I think
murder?
So, yeah.
Well, I mean, our laws decide that, and I am an instrument of the law, in a way. And in the course of duty, I killed a terrorist who was attacking children.
Yeah, I think he starts to nod as if he's like getting the picture, and he goes, "Bastian, you know that you're not a hero yet, right?"
Well,
I think sometimes because of your past, you feel like you're already an adult, but you're 18 years old.
It's not like I'm seeking these things out. I've had 3 red level threats thrust upon me, not of my own volition.
He nods. I think the point you're missing here is we should talk about how it happened.
It's in the report.
Yeah, I think he maybe like reaches to go grab out the report and then just like closes his drawer again, and he says, "Bastian, there's something you're not telling me."
Make him pierce the mask.
Make him pierce the mask?
Yeah.
He can't roll.
Oh yeah, I forgot. What do I roll?
To like hide this from him? That's not really a part of the game, right? I mean, it's not like a role that's in the game.
Well, is he trying to get an emperor? Is that like what he's doing? Or that seems like where the turn.
Is he trying to what?
Sorry, just like my kid's freaking out. But he kind of shifted there, like trying to get like what really happened. Is it still just the murder thing, or is it trying to get to like the computer power source thing?
That's a great question. I guess you could roll pierce the mask to determine what you think he's trying to get out of you.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, let's do that. I'm fine. Yeah, I could use the potential.
Yeah, I think. Just remember, when you fail, I get to make a move.
That's cool. I like it when you make moves.
Okay.
I thought it wasn't cool to be gay anymore.
I was gay before it was cool.
You're a hipster, I see.
Yeah. Yeah, I was straight. I was straight when it became mainstream, but now that it's kind of faux pas now.
You're contrarian.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay.
Okay, I'm ready now. Mundane. Fail. Let's go, baby. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So can I say, let's do this. I don't want you to admit anything outright, but let's say you read what he's asking incorrectly and you mess up. Can we say that that's what happens here?
Yeah.
You don't have to admit to it, but Marty kind of has suspicion now that there's a lot more to this story, and his suspicions are confirmed, right? Like, not confirmed with evidence that he could like report you with, but like he knows that there's something going on.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
All right. So I guess he's I'm not exactly sure how to play that in conversation. It's fine if it's more vague, but this last question was like, is there something you're not telling me? And maybe you think he's asking about Emperor, and so you say, no, there's nothing in the system. or like, something stupid like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, when I was in the system, we did whatever was necessary to save Quantum Quill. I slip up by saying we.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. And by we, you mean you and Soda Pop?
Yeah.
So, wait.
And then I look at my wrist. There's no watch. I'm like, oh man, it's getting close to the tournament, isn't it, Marty?
Yeah, I think he's like, listen, Bastian, I don't want to make an assumption, but I do believe I know you well enough to know when you're lying to me. It's not something I'm going to report yet, but just know that that's my job. And so if you're keeping things from me, you put me in a position where I either have to trust you implicitly or I have to get to the bottom of things and let the people know above us that there's more to this story. I don't want to tell them that there's more to this story. In fact, I also wanted to tell them after today that what happened wasn't on purpose. You didn't kill Shatter because you wanted to. You killed her because you had to. And you're not even putting me, you're not even willing to.
I don't know if I made that clear. I didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I think he's like, you saying that after listen, we were here today to talk about how it happened. And it's not normal for someone in your position, specifically, he's killed people multiple times, to not just be able to come out and say it. You're hiding something. Maybe after the tournament, we should come back around to this. Fair enough. Give you some time to think about it, maybe?
Yeah.
Think about how my job is on the line. I put my neck out for you guys plenty of times. Be nice to know that I could just trust you to tell me the truth. That's what an adult would do. Tell the truth. Maybe he says hero, not adult. Maybe he says that's what a hero would do.
So based on what I know of like the hero system, if I tell him something like he's not going to be able to keep it a secret.
He shouldn't keep it a secret. It would be against his job to keep it a secret, right? But it doesn't mean he wouldn't. I mean, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you one way or the other how it's going to go down.
Bastion doesn't like lying, and he's not good at lying.
No, he's not. Which is why I like this circumstance.
Killing is one thing.
Yeah,
killing is one thing, sure. But lying to a friend. Yeah, I don't know. I think Marty, I know you haven't given me a reason to particularly mistrust you, but I mean, you need to understand where I'm coming from. I leave that hanging.
Sure. Yeah, I think he kind of like straightens in his chair and he goes, okay. Are you asking me to trust you?
I mean, I guess that's part of it, but can I trust you to not put me and my friend or friends in a position where he'll die? I
think he says,
or become like a specimen of the government, theoretically speaking.
King got to you, didn't he? You're friends now.
Oh, well, no. Well, I mean, it's complicated.
Well,
Okay, give me 2 seconds. My baby needs a snack.
Sure. Yeah, maybe. I mean, we could just cut it from there. I mean, we could leave it ambiguous as to what was discussed here.
If you want to do that, that's fine. But I'm back.
Basically. Oh, okay. Well,
up to you.
No, I mean it's up to you. I mean, it depends on if you like.
But would I have to roll another mundane to like keep it a secret, or would that be superior? Like provoke him into keeping it a secret?
I think maybe provoke would make sense to keep. Yeah, provoke him into keeping it a secret. I think that makes sense. Stand for something would be the real like good move here, but nobody has that adult move.
Yeah. I'm gonna do game face to commit myself to save Emperor.
Seriously?
Is that a thing I can do?
Yes, but every scene in which you don't take action, you mark a condition. Okay. Right? And it's a dangerous move to have something be that ambiguous.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Screw it. I'll tell him, I think.
Okay.
I doubt we want to like have me recap everything that happened with him, so he's just gonna like in a panicked
yeah
like really quick way just like zoom through everything that happened.
Sure.
Minus the left wing stealing a supercomputer.
Okay. Yeah. So
basically maybe, like leaving out like my secret hideout and the computer.
Sure. Maybe we just get a shot of Marty and it's just like slowly zooming up on him as you like talk really fast. And it's just his face changing. And then he just goes, okay, wow. That is actually kind of incredible.
And I think you can see why I don't want anyone else. Like I've taken a big leap of faith in trusting you here because you're like the third adult I've ever trusted. So I'd very much prefer if you didn't try to imprison, kill, and experiment on my new friend.
All right, this is how it's going to go.
Well, I should roll superior, right? Or is this like so?
I don't think there's a roll here. I think this is just who Marty is.
Okay.
I think, and maybe if you want to change his mind to something else, you could maybe try and roll. But this is what he says. Here's how this is going to go. If you want to keep this a secret, I get it. I understand why, but you brought this to my attention. You have to trust me that if there's a point in time where I think this Emperor character is going to be a problem, or if he really is a bad guy, you have to trust me that I know what's best for you. You trusted me to bring me this information. You have to trust that if I think there's something wrong here, that you let me in and trust my decision as your superior.
Is he trying to influence me?
I don't know. I don't know if he's changing your labels. He's just, I mean he's not telling you how the world works. I could see an
argument for savior down, superior up. Trying to save Emperor versus doing the smart thing.
No, I think it would be mundane up, right? I mean, you're the I want to say lackey, but that's not the right word. Like you're the inferior, right? And so superior would, if anything, superior could go down, but I could see it as savior too. That he's right, but I don't know if that's really what he's doing. I don't know if he's much telling you how the world works as much as he's asking you to trust him.
Yeah. Well, this is a better outcome than he thought of having to like escape and hide underground. So,
what do you mean?
What?
What do you mean?
Well, if he was gonna just be like, okay, we're gonna take Emperor in and experiment on him. Like,
oh, sure, yeah, he's definitely not going to do that. But
I'd have to flee to Poland.
Oh, Poland.
My Poland academia.
That's hit season 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know if it's difficult for me because I just know Marty's character, and so it's not necessarily like we need a roll to figure out how he would handle this. This is for sure how he'd handle this, right? Is he's like,
if there's something that's just like so like just obvious he'd do, like I don't think there needs to be a roll for it.
Yeah, so I don't know, but I also don't think he's necessarily changing your labels.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
I don't know. I mean, what do you guys think, Caleb and David? Do you think by him saying you should trust me that he's changing his labels, or is it? I guess that is just a mechanic we could just use for this, but
it depends. He's not necessarily saying you should be more trustworthy,
right?
Or that people are trustworthy and you should trust people. I don't know that he's making a statement about the world or how things are, just that he should trust him.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not quite on the scale to try and shift his labels. I don't know. I think it could go either way, but
yeah. Well, I think maybe the conversation could go there if you're like, sure. Right. But
maybe if your response was like, trusting people is a bad idea, then maybe you'd have something to say about a more larger scale, how you think about the world kind of thing.
Yeah. But right now he's just like, I'm trusting that like you're trusting me by bringing this information. So you already think I'm a trustworthy person. Okay. So, you got to trust it. If I decide, basically he's saying in the future, if he decides to do something about this, you have to trust him. But I think maybe he even just goes up and says like, I don't want Emperor to become some sort of experiment. If you're wrong about Emperor and I know it to be true, I need you to trust me. Can you do that, Bastian?
Yeah.
Okay. Even if I can't prove it to you in the moment.
And I pull out my Nokia. I'm just like, Emperor, can you fix what's wrong with his status and put him back in like the system?
Emperor sends you a text message and says, am I allowed to talk in this room?
Are there any secret microphones in here, Marty?
Bastian,
if there are, I guess we're already caught.
Yeah, I think Marty pulls out a recording device, like a personal recording device, and hits the not stop recording button on it, and
Marty
slowly puts it back into the drawer. And he says, "Hey, it's my personal device. I need to remember things sometimes."
Mm-hmm. Like Emperor, delete that.
Yeah, I think Emperor just says that's not a part of the system, right? It's not hooked up to the internet.
Second you plug that in, Marty.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Is he able to put him back into the system?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I think he doesn't talk though. I think he's being shy around Marty.
That makes sense.
So do you say like your key card should work now?
Like yeah, he just fixed your key card, so you're back in the system.
Thanks, but I feel like you just kind of resorted to a bribe to not answer my question.
I answered all your questions.
If I tell you that Emperor is a problem and that I need to do something about it, are you willing to trust me? No matter what. That's what I need to hear you say. You were willing to keep this from everybody, including me, unless I pressed you about it, which is what just happened. So I need to know that if I come to a different conclusion than you, that we're not going to have a fight.
Yes.
Are you telling the truth?
As of now, I am. I can't. I'm not doomseer. I can't see the future.
So you're saying that your word doesn't matter, and if you just change your mind in the future, you're just gonna...
okay. If I trust someone and then they turn out to be like a megalomaniac serial killer government dog,
I think he's like, this is the problem. You can't just give me your word and say I trust you, Marty, and that's why I think I can't trust you to trust me to make the decision that I need to make as your superior.
I trust you as you are now, Marty.
And it's just like when you killed Shatter, the way that you were phrasing it, it's like, as long as you decide in your own mind. And so what if I come to you and say Emperor's a problem and you disagree? What, I'm no longer your superior?
Well, in the process of doing that, did you become a serial killing megalomaniac?
What if I didn't, but you think that?
Well, if you didn't, I don't think I would think that.
Yeah, I think he gets a big sigh, and I think maybe he stands up and he's like angry. This is probably one of the first times you've ever seen Marty angry. And he says, "Listen, Bastian, I'm telling you what's up. If you're gonna trust me, trust me. If not, let's get this over with right now. I'm your superior. If I give you an order, you will respect it. Is that understood? If not, we're going to have a problem." And he is putting Bastion your superior down, and he is putting Mundane up.
Okay. Is it Mundane?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Mundane is like the emotional, like comforting and supporting people level. That's not this, is it?
Well, mundane means that you see yourself as a normal person, right? So he's putting you in your place. And superior means that you think of yourself as you can think of a way out of it, right? Like you think that you're superior as opposed to mundane. He's saying you're just a normal guy. I'm your superior. Stop trying to think you know better than me.
Gotcha.
I don't really see an argument for a different. I mean, danger going up.
I thought savior going up, going down, because this is all about saving Emperor.
But that's not how Marty sees it, right? So he's not trying to tell you not to save Emperor, because that's not how he sees it at all. He just wants you to listen to his commands.
Do you get potential if you fail reject influence?
Yep. Yeah. Always on a 6-, you get a, yeah.
Is there a bonus or penalty?
I don't think so.
Okay. Hey, let's go, baby. Unreal. Give me that potential. Yeah, I think Bastion like just kind of like subconsciously goes back to like how he'd address a superior, and he stands up and salutes, and he goes like, "Yes, sir."
Yeah. Yep. And he says, "Good, much better." And he says, "Now I feel like we're on the same page. Now I feel like I can trust you." So you've tried to reject his influence, which means you take a condition and the GM will adjust your labels anyway.
I adjust the labels already.
Yep. And then afraid, angry, guilty, hopeless, or insecure.
Probably insecure.
Yeah, I think that's probably correct.
Let's go. 2 potential for one condition. That's the trait of the century right there. That's some Trump art of the deal right there.
Yeah, well, keep in mind it's not just the mechanical, potential you got from it. Like narratively, we've set up that you agree with Marty about his take on Emperor, right? His words have hit you hard. Yeah. He's your superior, and you've fallen back into your you're viewing Marty as like your Chinese like superior officer that could flog you if you disobey, right? That's kind of what you just said.
I know, this is perfect.
Okay,
this is great. The drama.
Yeah, and I think and Marty doesn't see that, right? Like you don't get the idea that Marty is like, oh, don't salute me. Sorry about that. he's like, good, like we got that settled. And you could easily assume, like any onlooker, is probably not you in the moment, but anybody else looking in on this probably is just like, yeah, they've given Marty enough crap. He's finally glad to get someone saluting him.
This is not a power trip.
Yeah. And so, yeah, and he says, is there anything else you need to tell me?
Is there?
Are you whispering into your Nokia?
I'm asking you. This is the GM.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, you haven't told him how you killed Shatter.
Oh,
you did execute her.
Is it?
But you've been so wishy-washy about what happened that Marty doesn't believe like what you're saying. He doesn't not. It's not that he's not believing. He's suspicious, right? Yeah. He's like, something's not right here.
But yeah, I don't think Bastion even really like views it as that. So
right, I agree.
Just like a terrorist was killed in the line of duty.
Right. For sure.
Like,
yeah.
They weren't going to go in and arrest Osama bin Laden.
Right. Well, yeah. And that's how Marty is like Marty isn't seeing it that way. Right. Like he doesn't know what happened, and you didn't give him a straight answer. You were just like, go read the report. Like, so he's like, okay.
I when the system killed her and trapped everyone else.
Right. That's what you did. Yeah. Are you saying that?
Well, no, that's just what the thing says.
Oh, right. The report says, yeah.
That's what he said from the beginning.
Right. So, but that's all I'm saying is Marty is definitely like suspicious about that, like how that went down. He's like, what the heck?
David, did you give yourself a star?
No, I actually should have another star. I just can't make the thing.
I thought you were trying to get one past.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
I got it from class.
That was very impressive. I almost want to keep that one, but I'm going to delete it.
Thanks.
Okay, so yeah, let's cut from there. Let's cut to the tournament day. We spent enough time on this.
Let's go, baby.
I don't think there's. Oh, I one more quick thing, really quick. The night before, I should have done this as the opening scene since we started with morning of. But the night before, Botanist showed up at the school facility and invited Shorty to his house. And he was all super psyched about that. And just a short scene for that is he like gets there and he's like, all right, so what should we work on first? Should we the guy at the power class, he was telling me something about going backwards. I don't know if he meant running backwards or what he's really talking about, but I'm really excited to kind of stretch my abilities. And Botanist kind of opens the door and the first thing they see is just the whole family sitting down ready and waiting for dinner. And Botanist says, yeah, but first let's just eat some dinner. And Shorty's kind of like, well, I'm not really hungry, but, and then Botanist starts walking over to sit down, and they're all like looking at him like they're all like dad's home, like waiting and ready, and they're excited. And Shorty just kind of goes, yeah, let's eat, and goes over and sits down, and we'll cut from there. And so tournament day. I think how they started off is everybody just goes to the center, right? And the 8 people that won, you guys are just like in the center, and everybody else like lines up, right? Mm-hmm. And actually, no, when you walk in, the whole area, like the whole facility, is now like a giant like domed structure. Actually, so I think you guys are like walking on the ceiling of that domed structure, and that's where you guys are deciding where, like, whose teams you guys are on. Mm-hmm. And I think the judges probably just decided how important your guys' characters were to your teams, to who picks first. And one thing to note is you guys can't pick anybody that won. You can only pick from the group that wasn't a part of your guys'
I get to pick first in my group, right?
So, I think between the 3 of you, we're just going to just abstract it. I'm not going to decide.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, real quick,
I'm not going to.
Who won besides us?
So it was. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, let me go pull that up.
I want to make sure. It might be that I chose someone on that list. I didn't realize.
It was Mist, Green Tiger, Bubblegum, Haunting Harmony, and Flutter.
Perfect. Not on my list. Or rather, my choice is not on that list.
So they all get to pick their partner as well. But go ahead and let's just say it's Palladium, Bastion, and Leftwing, or the order at which it goes, and then everybody else.
So I get to choose first.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to choose Emoticon.
Really? Mm-hmm. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah. So I think that the crowd, goes wild at that, right? They're like, I think like the like news broadcasters before are like, yes, the two most heroic members of the hit program teaming up. Glad to see it. The crowd is going wild. Yeah. And I think Duplicity is just like, Palladium picks Emoticon. And then Bastion, who's your pick?
So can Alchemist change stuff into carbon?
Do you want to have a moment where you are at the hit facility asking her that question?
Sure, yeah, that works.
Yeah, I think she's like, are you asking me because you want to choose me as your partner?
Well, yeah, if you can change all the walls into carbon, you can just make a straight line to the exit.
Okay. So I think she's kind of like suspicious of you, as like she doesn't want to explain her power to you.
You don't need to. If I see that, I'm just like, you don't need to tell me how it works. Just if you can do that one very specific thing.
Okay. Yeah. So now I gotta look up the.
Because in the rules it says we're not allowed to destroy the walls, but if we just open holes in them and then close them, or like change the way they're pointing,
what's
not technically against the rules.
What's the element for carbon? Like, what is the
C?
It's C. Okay, yeah. Yeah. So she says, she says she can change boron into carbon.
So I doubt the walls are made of boron. We never had this conversation.
Wait, so does she have... This is Alchemist you're talking about? This is Alchemist you're talking about? So
I think she says that she can also change silicon into carbon.
Oh, okay. For a second there, I thought I figured your trick out for her. I thought it was going to be like she could change, like, one thing on the elemental table to the adjacent thing on the elemental table. Is that what it is?
Yes, that's what it is.
Okay, but it's just like literally adjacent, like anywhere around, or
I think so. I haven't quite settled on
that would be super arbitrary.
Yeah, it is kind of super arbitrary, right? And because and every time I have to like figure out if she can change one thing into another, I have to go pull up the stupid table. It's kind of obnoxious.
Well, there's a scientific reason why things are where they are on the tables.
Right.
Or no, yeah,
I'm not smart enough to know why.
So she can't change silicon into carbon, actually, because 5 is boron, 6 is carbon, 7 is nitrogen. So she can change boron into carbon, but not that same piece of carbon then into nitrogen, because it was boron. So she can change one element into one thing. Like an adjacent thing. So she can change carbon into boron.
Move a bunch of steps over and over again.
Right. Yeah. She could, because it loses its identity, I guess you could put it that way. So that's why. So she can change carbon into nitrogen.
Considering she didn't do that change anything to the whatchamacallit. The plate at the beginning of the last test.
What about it?
She didn't change that.
Didn't change what?
Well, she changed your wall.
No, like the big circle where all the orbs spawned.
Oh, you're saying she probably can't turn whatever he uses to make structures into...
To make something, I mean, at least that I could use.
Or
into anything that would matter. For the point of the test.
Yeah, she can change boron into carbon. That's what she says, right? She's like, I can change boron into carbon. it's confusing. I guess I don't really want to tell you everything, but
it's fine. You don't have to. I get it.
And so she says, "So you're still going to choose me as your partner?"
No.
We cut from there, and then I think the room like at the tournament, maybe it's Scab down there who's like asking you, or I don't know, maybe it's Angel who's being like, Bastian, are you going to choose your partner? You're like looking at Alchemist. You're like, no.
Doomseer can only see stuff that like hurts her, right?
Correct. Well, not necessarily. It's more vague than that. She's seen things happen and that didn't directly pertain to her, but she was near, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think
it's scales.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll just go with Quantum Quill. She's smart.
Okay, yeah.
Ashton needs a brain.
So you pick Quantum Quill, and she I think she kind of is like she walks over to you confidently, but then as they're moving on to Left Wing, she says, "I knew you were gonna pick me."
Well, yeah, Alchemist can't turn the walls into carbon, so
I think she looks at you. She says,
"Kaput."
Yeah, I think she says, "You considered Alchemist before me," and then we like go over to Left Wing.
That's funny.
Left Wing, who did you decide?
Depending on how we decided that DJ can do what I was hoping he could do, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, how that looks with the roles, that might be a little bit more abstracted, but yes.
Sure. All right, then left wing will pick DJ.
Okay. I think let me ask you this. When you were talking with DJ, did you just ask him what he could do, or did you tell him, is he expecting you to pick him?
No, I just asked him what he could do.
Okay, yeah. So I think he's like, me? For real? He's like, oh man, yeah, this is awesome. And he goes, he's like, break it down, dog.
Yeah. High five.
And you do a high five to like his fist, and he does like some weird stuff with it, and then he like,
sticks his thumb out. Now it's a turkey.
Yeah. And then he like stands there like he's all that. Super proud, super happy. Okay, and then from there, I think Green Tiger picks Fuego. Mist picks Thunder.
Burgeoning bromance.
Yeah.
I like that.
He picked someone with almost the exact same skill set as him. That was dumb.
That's what meatheads. That's what, but dude, they're both meatheads. Come on.
That's true. He's like, I think we get that scene right. Green Tiger. Maybe he's next to pick, and he's like Fuego, and
they both transform and have like an Armstrong and like the teacher's husband scene.
There you go.
What?
From Full Metal Alchemist.
Oh yeah.
So I think maybe Flutter is standing next to him, and she's like, "You realize that you guys both just do the same thing, basically, right?" And Green Tiger's like, "Yeah, dude." He's probably small though, and he's like, "Yeah, double the power." And Mist picks Thunder. So let me write this down. Actually,
Emoticon makes sense. He has 5 powers. He's the most versatile.
That's true. He has we're actually both pretty versatile.
Well, I mean, Left Wing has theoretically infinite powers.
Well, I can actually use the powers that I take, right?
Yeah.
So
you're actually the one who has infinite powers.
Yeah, that's true.
It's actually on your character sheet.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. Mist and Thunder. Flutter would have picked Quantum Quill, but I think picks. Man, is she crazy or is she picking a smart thing?
Past experience is any indicator.
Yeah, Bubblegum is absolutely picking her brother, Bubble Boy, and
interesting.
Haunting Harmony is picking Pocket Arsenal, and
So does Shinobi get to go before Plasma Lady? Plasma Sword Lady?
I think Haunting Harmony picks Doomseer, actually. Go ahead. What were you saying, Bastian?
Does Soulbound Shinobi get to pick before Scarlet Saber?
So they don't get to pick at all. It's randomly assigned.
Oh, right. Only the winners.
They need to be together.
I'm gonna say they don't get. I also thought about like maybe just actually randomly assigning people, but I didn't know beforehand, so I didn't want to do it on stream. But I just want to pick who actually gets to pick what they pick. I think Flutter picks Polar Shield.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Flutter picks Polar Shield. That's what we'll do. Okay. Let me post that in here. Okay. Yeah, we can go ahead and get started. I think you guys kind of all go back into the like preparation spot, right? And you guys get some time to like talk with your partners, basically. So if you want to get any of those scenes, you can. Otherwise, they'll start explaining the rules, and maybe you can decide that as you Duplicity probably explaining the rules. She says a lot of the same things that I told you guys yesterday in the chat, right? She says that the ceilings is off limits, the walls are off limits, like the structure itself, all off limits to be broken. What's inside the rooms can be broken. Those things you have to be able to overcome, and destructive powers might be part of that. Now, be careful because these rooms are dangerous, and Beacon is going around and touching everybody. But she says one big change that we're making from this phase on, or not from this phase on, but for this phase is
there will be 1v1 phase, no fighting.
Right, yeah. Is no team fighting. If you see another team, you're not allowed to interact. And remember, there's cameras everywhere watching. Some that you can see, some that you can't see.
Why not?
Everything will be broadcast. What?
Nothing says why not just all that you can't see.
Yeah, I think Duplicity doesn't know how to answer that.
Yeah, he's not expecting an answer. He's just being
a
jerk.
So she I think she says I think she just says that, right? She's like, no team fighting for this phase. I don't think she gives an explanation.
Sure.
I think if any of you guys want to be like, hey, no fair.
No, I mean, it makes sense. That's not the point of this phase.
Oh, right? That was my favorite part of the other challenges.
That's definitely Leftwing's favorite part of the other challenges.
Leftwing, do you think it's fair for him to make an assumption that maybe it's because of the news about how you were friendly firing people, or do you think that doesn't even come to your mind?
Well, so I've never friendly fired anybody. In every instance, all of the other people were
heroes fighting each other, right?
Right, but that's not what the concept was. We weren't like working together to save people. We were trying
so friendly
to save
fire
more
isn't the right
people.
term, but like the rescue phase was supposed to be
dirty tactics.
Dirty tactics, yeah, right. And so basically, they're saying no dirty tactics this time.
Yeah, from Leftwing's perspective, those were just villains in the first phase, right?
Right.
And in the second phase, they were literally supposed to fight. Right. So that's why it seems like BS to him, right?
Yeah.
The news always needs a villain.
Sure. Yep. Yeah, but I mean, it makes sense in this phase because the point of this phase is to go through the maze, right? That's not like fighting each other isn't the point of the maze. So I don't know if he would assume that. Because I wouldn't have assumed that, right? I would have been like, oh, that's just not part of this phase. Like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Unless you had something you wanted to do with that, and then I can assume it anyways. It's not the end of the world. But
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Um,
so we're establishing there's cameras everywhere.
Yeah. So Emperor can see everything, is what you're saying.
That's what you're saying.
Yep. I think that's all the extra things she says about the rules. I think she just says everybody's going to start at a different entrance, but the exit is the same for everybody. You just have to figure out where that is. What were you saying?
Doesn't that mean that some people will start way closer to the exit?
She says, "You let us worry about that."
Okay.
They're constantly moving the exit with their powers. They're going to choose a winner based on who they like the most.
Right.
If that's what you think, I don't know if this is the tournament for you. Any questions or anything I didn't explain about the rules? I think that was everything. You're just trying to get from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Is there an obvious indicator that you're traveling in the right direction? Like, because the rooms are random, right? It's not like, oh, you run into a dead end, you need to go back and is there a way to know that this next room is actually in the right direction? Do you know what I mean?
I think not necessarily. I think
you could just infinitely do rooms and never get anywhere, and you wouldn't have any way of following the maze such that you would know that's what you were doing.
Unless you're going backwards, right? Going back to rooms you've already been in. So I think that's kind of the concept. And so the idea is that the maze is set up in which you eventually have to be able to get forward unless you're going backward.
Okay. Gotcha. So there's I see. Okay.
But you could also go sideways. And then if you're finding rooms that people have already been in, you don't know if you're behind or ahead. And it's part of figuring out the maze is like figuring out a real maze. Like,
sure. Yeah. Real maze doesn't have
it's going to be a hard
points. That's why I'm not sure how that would work. Not infinite. You know what I mean?
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right. I mean, it doesn't matter because we're going to roll in. So even if it was,
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started.
Are we having scenes with our partners first?
Yeah, if you guys want to. Yeah.
I don't need one with DJ.
I don't want one.
It's pretty straightforward.
I
wouldn't either if I were you.
Oh, come on, Caleb. You gotta have one where he's just like, why the heck did you pick me?
No, yeah, probably.
Sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say anything to him off the bat. So
I guess he's pretty quiet. I don't think he says anything to you either.
Sure.
Yeah. I think he just accepts it.
We get all this protagonist energy in one place.
Yeah. That's right.
All of the best hero in the class energy. Oof.
That's right. Yeah.
I mean, let's be real. This is basically Izuku picking Todoroki. That's what's happening here. It's like, duh.
Basically, yeah.
They're gonna win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to be Izuku. Oof.
And emoticon could actually make ice.
Bakugo. Yeah.
Well, I'm taking Asina. Screw you guys.
Okay, go ahead.
I like motion for her to like come to like a little like quiet, secluded corner away from prying eyes.
Okay. Yeah, she's like, yes.
I pull my Nokia out of my pocket. I'm just like, can you scan the maze?
Quantum Quill's like, are you seriously gonna risk Emperor for this? It's a tournament. We're good enough to not use Emperor.
Is she trying to influence me?
Yeah, maybe she is.
Yes, mundane. Fix my mundane and superior.
Well, I don't know what this would be.
Well,
this is definitely
trying to tell you not
down.
to cheat. I don't know.
No, superior would be up because the smart thing to do is not risk him.
No, what? Seeing yourself as superior is not necessarily meaning that you're always doing the smart thing.
It's assessing. If you assess the situation, actually, you're realizing that
but then everything could be superior. Like, they're telling me that I should not kill people willy-nilly, and that's also not putting danger down. That's putting superior up. You know what I mean? Like,
all of the tricking and lying and all of those things all use superior as well. So I think the game kind of assumes that if you're being a douche, you're using superior. And you're
moves.
Cheating, right? In this sense,
that's not cheating. I'm using our powers.
Literally cheating.
Yeah, for sure. That's cheating. Yeah,
it wasn't in the rules. It's not cheating. They said you have to solve the maze without destroying the wall.
Yeah, I think if you're seriously doing this, Quantum Quill is for sure going to try and put your superior down.
Dude, then my superior would be at 0.
Yeah. But if you could convince her that you should still use it or just use him anyway, I mean, Emperor is going to be a bonus. But I think I'm also going to have you roll the break the law move to see if you get caught doing this.
Yeah.
It would be weird if you just randomly whipped out your phone every 5 minutes in the maze.
Yeah.
They might actually even tell you to not have those, like, because you could communicate with your teammates and stuff. I actually was going to ask about that because I would think they wouldn't.
You'd have to keep that hidden.
Yeah, because like I could text you, right, and that would be cheating,
right?
In some way. Depends on if we find each other, I think, but
It's up to you. I mean, if you think this is for sure what Bastion would do, then Quantum Quill just
the thing is if it's against the rules, Bastion wouldn't do it.
I think
seems pretty safe to assume it's against the rules, right?
It's really safe to assume. I could see how Bastion wouldn't see through that, but then Quantum Kill is just saying, no, that would be cheating. And then you'd be like, oh, it would be.
But they didn't say I couldn't use my phone. They just said, don't destroy the walls. Or don't fight.
I think as soon as you say that, Duplicity is like, oh, make sure all of your personal gear gets into the locker. We wouldn't want it to break. And no phones. That would be cheating. Just like on the nose says it.
There you go.
And Quantum Quill goes,
I'll put my phone in the locker.
Then
I pull out my Bluetooth earphone.
Those don't exist yet.
Bastion has 2 phones. I can't actually say why on stream because it involves naughty words, but remember that song, 2 Phones?
No,
good. It's stupid. All right.
So do you just go put your phone away then, like reluctantly?
Bluetooth technology was invented in 1994. You can suck it.
Oh, really? Huh. I didn't know that.
And Bastion has the insane amount of money
commercialized.
To pay for this new cutting edge.
I'm not going to do it anyway. That's too much research.
Okay, so you put your phone away. We did get that scene though, and that's funny.
It probably also had a range of like 4 feet.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay, so anybody else have anything they wanted to do or say?
No.
I think DJ is like super pumped left wing, and he just can't stop talking. He's like, okay, when we get in there, I should be able to use my power to, look at all the cameras, and just to let you know, I'll have my headphones on because it'll give me the, the.
Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought about that. I just assumed you'd send your drones in every direction, but if they have cameras you can look through, that's even better. That's almost seems like cheating, but I mean that's their fault, I guess. That's what you get for being Big Brother, I suppose. All right, sick. Sounds good to me.
I think, I think he's like, sweet, let's go.
Yeah, obviously we want to avoid any rooms that require us to destroy things. That's the main goal.
Yeah, I suppose we're kind of weak.
Neither of us can bust through a wall, so let's avoid those.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I should start getting in my headspace. And he like puts on his headphones and he starts like very badly, like very poorly, like rapping. But you definitely can't tell like what he's like he's like muttering as if he doesn't know the words very well.
Oh,
right?
Sure. He says a couple words I understand, and then he goes.
Yeah.
It's because Connor doesn't actually have to rap on stream.
Yeah, that's why for sure. Nobody wants me to do that.
Oh, trust me, I want you to.
I don't even know any 2000s rap songs. Okay, so you guys all start at different ends of like the tournament field, and it's just like there's just an entrance on every side, basically. But you don't see where everybody else is starting, right? You're just told which direction, like which hallway to go down, right? And then the buzzer sounds, and everybody go ahead and roll this move here.
Oh, is this phase going to be decided in one move?
No.
Going through the maze is a custom move.
That is the move. So when you were trying to find your way through the maze, roll plus superior. On a hit, mark an advancement in the maze track. I'm going to say the maze track is going to be 3. Somebody want to make like 3 boxes here for each person?
Hey, stop doing.
How do I can't focus ping for some reason.
Yucky. No.
I don't know. I can't do it.
Where are we supposed to be on the? Oh, the tabletop here. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a map?
I can't ping.
Do you need boxes? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Are we going to be on a map or should I draw them here?
There's not going to be a map for it. I guess I had a map to like show you guys kind of like a basic idea for it, but it's not what it is. And it's not even like the layout of it because you're starting at other like like there's no map that exists that looks like this. So
right, that's fine. Yeah.
Are we doing the thing where we have separate team again?
Yes. So we could do that. Although keep in mind, Bastion, you chose to sacrifice 2 team to convince Soda Pop and get personal advancement for her. So whenever the next time team is added, it takes 2 team away. and it only makes sense to apply to you and Quantum Quill in this exact circumstance, but not apply to the other teams. So I think that's kind of your quote unquote punishment.
So now does that mean that Quantum Quill is just not going to benefit him at all mechanically?
Kind of.
Oh, kind of.
I mean, not necessarily.
Okay, do we need one? We need one of how many of these do we need, and for who? Just all three of us?
Three per. I just messed up your box. I can't I don't have proper permissions for some reason. I can't focus ping. It's weird. But the one up here will be Bastions. That's one, and the other, or I'm just adding 2 statically at the start of every phase, and there's 1 for each person at the beginning of every session. So that'll be how it be. The team mechanic taking away here doesn't really make a lot of narrative sense, but that is technically the mechanic. We could, if you really want to argue for it, that it's just the next time you guys are working as a team, take 2 team away. But that also just similarly comes into a problem where it's weird. Soda pop is not really on your team. So it was kind of a weird one to choose, but it still makes sense that there's some some off balanceness from Quantum Quill and you specifically.
That's your GM. That's up to you. Whatever makes sense. I'd obviously prefer to have team right now, but
right.
Yeah, so that's why I should decide that.
Sorry, I'm gonna move some of these around so that it makes sense for where you have in place. There we go. Now it's better. My microphone keeps falling down. I don't know if you guys can
I mean, unless you've got a thing
I don't
in the near future planned with Soda Pop being on our team.
I mean, kind of, but kind of not. It could or couldn't happen. I don't know.
It's up to you. Whatever you think would be better.
Yeah, I guess in my head it makes sense because it's you and Quantum Quill, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it really makes sense mechanically. I don't know why she's not on top of things. I mean, we could just say she's distracted, right?
But yeah, distracted works too.
Yeah, we could just say she's not
mad or mistrusting at me,
or not even necessarily that. Just
she might just be worried for
just worried,
who's currently on trial, right?
Yeah.
So
she's for sure just distracted. So we'll just say it like that. So I'm gonna put Quantum Quill up here with you, Bastion. I'm gonna put DJ up there with Left Wing. That's so small, and then Emoticon up there with Palladium. Okay, so you'll go ahead and roll on that move then. So just plus superior. So small.
I'll reset him properly.
Thank you.
If you need to choose a specific size, Connor, what I usually do is I go to the token you want it to be the same size of, check advanced transform, set dimensions, see what it is, and then go to set dimensions on the other one and just set them as the exact same instead of trying to size them manually.
Nice.
And I have a situational bonus since I can literally see the entire. Well, I can't. My partner can literally see the entire maze.
That is a question, right? I'm not sure if I should just be I should just give you that as a permanent +1 as you're going through this, or if there should be some sort of roll to get that bonus. I'm not sure. Or
normally we use team for that, but maybe, we have situational
you could
penalties.
Roll superior to get a bonus before the next superior roll.
But that's assessing.
That's what that would be.
Yeah, right? I suppose DJ could give you information, but it's still hard to decipher where what you're seeing in the cameras to figure out where each thing is. So maybe you roll superior based off of what he's telling you. Sure. If you can accurately tell where to go.
Yeah, it was that he was just going to send drones in every direction we could go, and we'd pick the better one, right?
He doesn't have a bunch of drones.
Well, that was kind of the question that I asked you that I was confirming earlier, was that he had a bunch of drones he could see through the eyes of. That was the crux of the thing. Yeah. My main thought was if he can see through multiple drones at once, then he could just send a drone on every pathway, and we'll know which one's best.
I remember stating he only had one drone. Okay. In phase 1. Remember when Quantum Quill came over and just toppled over his drone?
He could build more.
Right. He repaired that one, right?
Right. I mean, that's fine, I guess. If you can see the cameras, it'll be a similar thing. He doesn't have any. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It won't affect the rolls that much. Do you want me to assess the situation first?
I think so. I think it makes the most sense mechanically. Otherwise, at any point in time, you can just use team and say, well, DJ just told me not to go that way, right? That way it still makes sense, but it's not like a arbitrary, you just get a +1 to everything for the whole time, right? Like
right. What is the difference here for this? Between a hit and a partial hit. And then just ask one. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so what is the
everybody else go ahead and roll superior, but you're not making a superior roll for the thing. You're rolling on this move, right? Like the actual move.
Yeah. But I'm rolling superior though.
Yeah. Yeah. What can I use to blank? What here is the biggest threat? What here is in the greatest danger? Who here is the most vulnerable to me? How could you have done this quickly? Funny. Yeah. Full hit. So go ahead and
nice.
So the first room Connor, that you come to is good for you and your partner's powers. Right. Is basically how it.
And then I mark an advancement on the maze track.
Yep.
I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and make the insides of these green when we mark it.
Sorry, I think I'm phrasing that poorly. So on a hit, you find a room is actually what I mean to say. So if you clear that room, that's when you're marking advancement in the maze track. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But the roll is defining what you.
Okay, so you should remove that part then.
Yeah, let me rephrase that. But Jared, you can roll too.
Yeah, because theoretically, you're not once you get to the third room, you don't succeed until after you get out of it.
Yeah. You find a room. And a 10+. Yep. When you clear the room.
Wow.
Mark it. Wow. Okay. Yeah. On the maze.
And so if you don't get a hit, you don't find a room at all?
Correct.
Oh, right. You get lost. That's what it says.
You're hopelessly lost, or you find yourself confronted with an obstacle.
Okay.
Wow. Double sixes. Wow. Yeah, crazy. Nice. Okay.
There's a carbon robot.
Yeah. You open the door and it's just a room full of carbon. It's just a block of carbon. That's the room. So the question I'm going to ask is, what's the best way in / past?
Sure.
To the exit, right?
Yeah, I think maybe you find DJ is he's still bopping to the beat, right? As he's telling you what he's seeing. Okay. And you don't know if this has not been confirmed to you yet, if his powers have anything to do with music, or if he just can't focus on his power unless he has this beat in his head. But he just that's how his power, that's how whenever he's using his power, that's what he's doing.
Okay.
And so he's yeah, okay, I see all sorts of routes, but there's this path. Maybe he just tells you it, and maybe you're just mapping it out in your head. And I think you find there's a route that has fewer rooms.
Seems more direct.
He finds a path that eliminates having to go through a room. Every other spot, you have to go through 3 rooms, and this one is 2 rooms or whatever in the specific area.
Right.
And I think something else he mentions to you is he's oh yeah, wow, okay, the end of the maze it seems kind of crazy. I think there's a giant robot. Oh man, oh crap, I think we're gonna have to fight something, but way later.
Oh, sounds like somebody else can deal with that for us when we get there. All right, in the meantime, we'll head that way. And then, so I just get a +1 for answering that question, I guess.
Yep.
So
you get a +1 to the actual find a room roll.
Yeah.
Okay, so partial hit.
Well, I'll spend a
team.
It's challenging for your abilities. Yeah, I'll spend a team. I might as well. How many do we have? 2?
3 total.
3? Okay, then I will spend 1 to get a 10.
Okay, so we'll pop that out of existence. Okay, so everybody found a room that was great for their abilities. So if you guys have an idea for it, go ahead, because I think it's more fun for you guys to come up with something. I have a great one for Left Wing. I think I have a good one for Bastion, and I think I have a great one for Palladium for sure. But
back up. I got a penalty to that I shouldn't have. I only had a +2. I should have had a +4.
It's because
I have guilty marked, which is -2 to assess the situation, and it just automatically takes that off your superior, even though that's not what I was rolling. So.
Oh, I see. Okay,
I have guilty marked. That's why I did that. So I actually got an 11. So I wouldn't need to use the team.
Isn't that part of? I mean, because I know it's a custom move, but haven't we decided that you still get penalties for those things?
I do think it might make sense if we were ruling it the other way around, which we often do, right? Is like you can still get your custom X thing if you're rolling a slightly different move in the basic move. Then I should probably work the other way around, as you get.
I'm fine with that. I just think we haven't done that yet.
I don't think we have, because I don't think it's come up, but I think we probably should.
I know it's come up. I've had that happen before, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Then all right, that's fine.
At least when it's close enough to the original basic move, right?
I guess otherwise in the tournament, the conditions don't really matter. Well, I guess they do, because you're still having to. Yeah, it's fine. You can take the penalty away for just because now you have to still clear the room, right?
Right. I mean, I'm fine with the idea that these conditions affect custom moves also, because I like the idea that our moves affect custom moves. It just
sure, yeah, that's true. We are home
just a kind of a random time to apply it.
So yeah, I think we should apply it that way then. I like that. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. It should go both ways then. Should be good and bad, so to speak.
All right, then go ahead.
Away.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's unfortunate. That means I'm going to be. Yeah, all right. I wish I had known that we were going to do that, but
to try and clear that condition.
Yeah, because instead of having a +4, I'll have a +2 the whole time, and only because I did assess the situation.
Right, for the condition, you mean?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you assess the situation, and okay, yeah, I see what you mean. I still think it makes sense though that left wing is insecure, right? I mean, you don't understand. Like, it makes perfect sense for where your character is at, right?
Yeah.
So okay. Does somebody have a room idea that they would like to see, or should I go for it?
No, go for it. Yeah.
All right. So left wing. So yours. Yeah. This is what I'm the most sure about. You get to a room, and it's like in Star Wars, where it's like a bunch of like moving, like timed moving platforms. That's like a jumping mechanic, right? Okay. Where you're supposed to and there's like a chasm in between, right? Sure. Like one end to the other end of the door, and
perfect.
Yep.
Awesome. Yeah. So I'm like,
and DJ's like, so anybody else here would just have to, jump, fall to their death, but we've got you.
Yeah, that works out. This is exactly how I hoped our room selection thing would go. Yeah. You want to fly the drone over? It'll just make it easier.
Sure. Yeah. Flies it over.
I'll swap places with his drone, and then with him.
Okay, sure. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
We'll just hop back.
Go ahead and roll freak. We can abstract it into the one roll.
Okay. Oh, my freak is at 2 now. It's gross. Does the best way through thing apply to this? What is? Yeah. I guess let's decide. Being suitable for my powers actually, right? Because I imagine most of these rooms are going to come down to a freak roll, and it'll just be, I guess you just give penalties if they're hard, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and also this one, you can teleport because you can see the other side, right?
Right.
If it was not good for your powers, there'd be a lot of obfuscation. So you couldn't just teleport from one end to the other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay.
Cool. And one of the things he didn't tell us is one of the challenges is comforting and supporting someone.
There's just a child in the room crying, and he has a key, and he has to give you the key to get out.
That would be a great way to get back on the news side. Just punch the kid and take the key.
If I ran into that room, I would just swap something with the key and leave. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Who wants to have their room next? Should we just go in order of rolling? Let's go in order of rolling. Palladium, you get to a room that is a. Let me think about this. You get to a room that's like. What's the word? Like let me think this through. Yeah, you get a 10. Yeah, so at 12 plus. So we're gonna do a room that's like a like a dome as you are walking into this room, and the drawings, is that why everybody's giggling?
David keeps drawing on my perfectly filled in checkbox.
I think what we get is a like a domed room in which there's just like concussive blasts that like are periodic in this dome, and I think maybe what's on the ground is like mud, so you have to like slog through some mud while you're being blasted concussively.
All right, remind me what emoticons all of his powers are, real quick.
When he's happy, he can fly. When he's sad, he's electrically charged. When he's angry, he has ice powers. When he's afraid, he turns invisible. And when he's... What was the last one? I don't remember.
Those are whatever the last one is. I don't think we've seen yet.
I don't think that's true.
I didn't know he could turn invisible. Haven't seen him turn invisible yet.
Yeah, so we have seen him turn invisible. Oh, driven. When he's driven, his perception of time is faster.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of like those two.
I've
seen the ice and the flying.
Yeah, I haven't seen him when he's invisible either.
I think we saw them briefly with Palladium versus Emoticon. Like way back, like in episode 6.
Was he afraid? I don't remember that part.
At the end, when he delivered the final blow, he turned invisible, and then there was like a boom up against the wall, and then he turned out of invisible.
Okay, I didn't remember that part. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
So that's what he can
fly.
Do.
Sorry, so what was the other one? I missed it.
Driven is perception of time. Happy he's can fly. Sad he's electrically charged. Angry his ice powers. Afraid he's invisible.
Cool. I mean, he can fly, so I guess I think I say, you fly us over there. Use me as a shield.
He nods and he grabs you and starts flying. Go ahead and roll. I think. What would this be? Maybe defend to be like protect him as you're flying him across.
Yeah, probably.
That makes sense.
And you're just absorbing the kinetic energy.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Just holding me out.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh no. Oh yeah, okay. I forgot I'm insecure right now.
He purposely drops you in the pit.
Okay, so yeah, that's a bad roll. Maybe. I don't think you could even if you spend all 3 team, but you can't because you only have 1 partner. You'd get a 7.
Smushing him with kinetic energy on accident.
Well, I think maybe you don't expect when the blasts are coming, right?
Yeah, the timing is weirder than
the timing is not what you expect. Like there's one blast from the left, and you're like ready to stop it, but the blast on the right comes faster, and you just get like knocked into the mud.
Okay, so we're like trudging through it at this point.
Yeah, I think so. You're trudging through the mud, maybe, instead of flying over. And I think,
it's probably harder to protect him that way too, right? Like you're not in any danger here, really, but he might be, right?
Yeah. Maybe Emoticon puts angry in his chest and then starts like spraying ice to like protect him, and the ice just keeps like shattering, and it's like he's like, oh, I don't think this is better.
Maybe sorry, they tricked us with that timing. I thought I figured out the pattern. Actually, can I roll superior now to try to figure out the pattern?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, like assess the situation, figure out what the move is here. All right, that's a hit. Let's see. Just one question. Okay. How could we best end this quickly?
I don't know. What is it? That's an interesting answer to that.
Maybe break the emitters.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Are there clear emitters of this, or is it like coming from like a hole in the wall?
I think maybe you noticed the part of the superior role is right. You notice that whenever the emitters fire off, there's a little like what's the word? Like a little like metal like
flap that opens up.
Flap, yeah, thank you. That opens up and then the emitter comes out.
All right, I'm like, put the ice away. Give me some juice.
Yeah, I think he switches it. He switches it. It's almost as if he's like barely even thinking. Right? He doesn't need to like.
That's true, actually. Maybe he doesn't need to do electric because I do have concussive. I assume I've been like I'm just standing there getting buffeted by this.
Yeah, you could just
Okay, let's do that. Yeah. So I'm just like, okay, try to keep that away from you as best you can. I'm gonna finish this fast.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna try to like do some aimed blasts from the like tips of my fingers to like right as the flap, opens up like right inside of it.
Also, you can only do one energy at a time, right? So you wouldn't even be able to absorb electrical energy if you had to connect.
Yeah,
okay. I thought so.
That's why I decided against that. Let's see here. Yeah, probably just freak, unfortunately. Because I'm not actually engaged.
Maybe you can trade blows with the room and roll danger. That's probably worse though, right?
Yeah, it is. I'll just roll freak. I'm at a 0 here, unfortunately, but
okay.
I'm not hopeless, so I don't get a minus to this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Way to look on the bright side, Caleb.
At least it's not hopeless.
All right, I hit.
Okay, 7. So you can either mark a condition or I can tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Yeah, we're gonna have to choose that one. I have too many conditions.
Every time you break one, another one just spawns, but it like takes a while.
I think you hit it, and it's like a whack-a-mole idea, right? Like you stop the blast from coming when you hit it, but you don't stop it. Like you don't permanently stop it, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right, well, that's something to work with at least.
So you're like, so now it's another timing game.
Exactly. So then I'm like, okay, well, I think I can control it a little bit now, but we're still gonna have to make a run for it here. What do you think? What's our best strat?
He's like, I mean, I could still fly, and he's like popping up more ice, trying to protect himself.
Okay. Yeah. So I think I say, all right, I think we're both gonna have to make a big leap here, and I'm gonna try to. So I think my plan is, and I just explained to him this in character, but for our sake, I'll just basically my plan is I'm going to try to shoot a couple of blasts at a few of them once I get the timing right, so that there's a gap here, a window in which we can just make a really big jump, and he's gonna fly, and I'm gonna just expel all the rest of my energy out behind me.
Yep.
To just soar over the mud at that point, blast out of the mud and over through the corridor here.
Yeah.
Through the room here.
Okay, I think
this is another freak, probably.
I think so.
Yeah. My delivery of my breakfast.
Nice.
Thank you.
Don't forget to tip the driver.
Carly. Yeah. She knew what I needed. Salt.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll freak unless you see a different avenue that makes more sense to you.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Here we go. I can use team if I super fail.
True.
Hi, Joe. Oh, thank you for the salt, Joe. Bye-bye.
Oh.
Joe says, let me close the door.
Playing our game, okay? Hi. I'll see you soon. Yeah, hopefully I can just spend team if I fail this. No, okay, well I'm gonna spend that one team to not fail.
Yep.
Although I don't get I don't get potential though if I do that.
True, but do you want to die in the first
Can I ask you what that will mean if I fail here?
I think I'd have you take a condition.
Okay, but I would still get to keep going. No, we get through the room with a condition.
No, you'd not get out of the room and have a condition.
Tempting.
You drive a hard bargain.
I'll just go ahead and spend the
So I think you get the timings almost perfectly, but there's one more that you don't catch.
And maybe there's one at the door that doesn't open until you get close, and it just blows you back.
Well, I think emoticon is flying you, right? And
well, no, I was going to blast myself separately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was expelling all his energy to.
Yeah, we're just throwing across the room like side by side.
Yep, and so you get all of them except for one, and you're blasting forth, and as soon as that like a little flap opens up, emoticon swaps happy with angry and shoots it with some ice before it can blast anything, and then puts happy back in, and then like reaches for you, but he doesn't have enough speed, and you like grab his hand and pull him out of the room. But we forgot to say, was it temporary or unstable, or are you marking condition? Because he's still
right.
It's a partial hit.
I don't even know how it could be temporary or unstable without just like doing the same roll again. Right? Do you have an idea there?
Temporary or unstable.
Maybe it could do with what's on the other side of the room, right? Like they fly out of the room and there's still some other smaller, different problem. So it's not that the power is temporary unstable, it's just the success is maybe a little unstable.
We're in like a worse position when we get to the next room or something.
Like you get through the door and there's just like a robot to fight or something.
Well, maybe when you get to the other side of the room, you forget let's say can I just say you give you a temporary like a -1 on your next superior roll, maybe you guys are like shaken up and you like forgot where you are. Okay, no, that's fine.
Yeah, if we are not coming up with a good idea here that makes narrative sense,
sure,
I'll just take a condition.
Yeah. The hallway also has blast emitters.
No, right. It's just the same room again. No, I'll just take it. Oh man, this is gonna be bad. I'm really hoping we're gonna fight someone next because I'm gonna mark hopeless here. I don't know. Okay, so I have guilty and hopeless. Also, real quick, does that room count as one scene, or is like the whole maze one scene?
I guess we could say each room is a scene. What do you guys think? I mean, you guys have. I mean, Bastion doesn't have like any conditions, but you and Leftwing do. Right. Does that make sense? Like it's like each time because there's like pauses in between, like right as you're trying to figure out where to go next in the maze.
I mean, like narratively, I think they're separate scenes, but I mean, we've had scenes that have lasted 2 full episodes, so I think it's a question of pacing on your
that's what I'm asking mainly.
The maze is long. Yeah. You do actually have to figure out how to get from one spot to another, right? So I'm going to say those scenes are long. Like you guys getting to your first room was probably like 15-30 minutes. Maybe less for Leftwing and DJ because they knew exactly where to go.
So it's just like a giant maze that we're slowly making our way through.
Okay. Yes. So here's my other question. Where's the bathroom?
Wherever your heart desires.
When's the lunch break? There's cameras everywhere. We're children. That's illegal.
There are emergency bathrooms. You got to follow the signs.
Every room has a.
If you have to pee, Beacon pulls you out. But you can't put you back in. You're disqualified.
You have to shoot yourself in the head.
All the camera. Are there cameras in the bathroom?
Listen, nobody pees. It's a TV show. You don't pee in TV shows. So you just skip over that part. Just like in 24.
Yep.
Right.
That's actually one of the happens during the bathroom breaks. Is that no one has to pee within a mile vicinity of them.
Oh gosh.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Real quick. Then can I run down these? Did that last scene let me clear afraid for running from something difficult?
No.
Did I hurt or break something important?
No.
Did I take foolhardy action without talking to my team?
No.
I think you cleared everything before you did.
I know. Yeah. I pretty much knew before I even asked that. It's going to be knowing all these. Man. Okay. Okay, I have a suggestion for temporary or unstable. Instead of it being, well, I guess, these are like rooms in between. Like there's a bunch of maze corridors in between each room, aren't there?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
So that's why I was saying you guys got concussively blasted, right? So maybe you guys have a harder time finding the next room. So you get a -1 to the next superior roll to find the next room
instead of a condition.
Instead of a condition.
Oh yeah, and to the main move. Okay, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
I don't want to take another condition. This is gonna be
that was the nice move. It's the first room, so I'll go easy.
Okay. I appreciate it.
Okay, so I kind of have to go though. So Bastion,
up there.
Quantum Quill, we'll have to
start
like cliffhanger with your guys's spot. I think the room that you find yourself in though is literally like a
crab-sized carbon robots.
No, I think it's a coal mine.
Nice.
I think we get Bastion to stops and just starts laughing.
yeah. I think it's a coal mine. I think it's like a puzzle where you have to like transport these like big containers of coal in a particular way so that the carbon that's like the coal that's all in those containers makes it to the other end, and you can pour it into like a chute to like fill it up so that the door opens. But they're all like the like carts are all too heavy to carry, right? So but you don't need to move the carts at all. You can just whoop.
I don't even need to do the puzzle. I can just
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's the room we end on him maniacally laughing.
Let's go.
Does anybody have end of session moves real quick?
Oh yeah, let's take a look.
I want to grow into my image of myself. Everyone thinks I'm a villain and all this kind of stuff.
Sure. And, yeah. I like that.
You gonna shift your labels?
Yeah, I want to kind of undo the mundane freak thing that happened earlier.
So you're doubling down. You're like, no, I'm a freak.
Sure.
Yeah, I'd be like, she was like, we're just normal people, and then everyone on the thing was like, you're a jerk, and I was like, okay, fine.
Yeah. The rebel.
Yeah. Also,
I am what you want me to be.
Can I run from something difficult? Because I picked the easiest room, even though there were harder rooms I could have picked.
No.
Dang it. See, the problem is I don't know how I'm going to clear that. My character doesn't feel guilty about anything. I don't know what to do to clear that.
I mean,
like it says,
like you not talking to like remember I don't know. There's some spots for it. Yeah.
Sorry, this is a different one. This says make a sacrifice to absolve your guilt. I don't know what I don't know what I'm guilty about.
There's a couple of things. So there's more than one way to remove conditions. There's the defend roll, there's the comfort or support roll, and
none
there's
of those matter
also
for me. I can't.
Well, there's also the end of session move. Instead of taking potential, you could clear a condition.
Yeah. I didn't take potential. I did the stats, but yeah, maybe I'll do that. So I guess I'll grow closer to the team with DJ, and then because that's what it is, right?
That makes sense.
Then I'll get rid of guilty.
Yep.
All right, great.
Cool.
I don't want to do this whole thing with a -2. Am I stupid?
Right.
Superior.
I'm gonna undo what Connor.
So
again.
So DJ like. Right, like he's being all buddy with you, right? And he's like, like maybe you felt like, man, everybody thinks I'm a whatever, and then it's like, DJ likes me, who cares?
Yeah, when everyone also craps on DJ, and so like,
right,
yeah.
I think
two rebels against the world.
That's right.
Like,
yep.
And then I'll save the whole like I'm actually a villain thing for like adjusting my labels for next session, which probably will make more sense anyways.
Yeah.
Give them more chances for me to lean into that.
So Caleb, you can fill in your box too once you're done.
Oh yeah. I think I'm gonna choose to grow closer to the team as well. Emoticon doesn't have influence on me right now, so I'm gonna give it to him, and then mark some potential because I think we're just we're moving up in the world. We're protagonist energy.
Yep.
I need one more, and I upgrade. Man, I wish I would have failed that room now.
Jared, do you have an answer for?
Yeah, I'm gonna come into the image of myself or whatever, and
sure, yep,
bump up superior and put back down mundane. There's nothing mundane about Bastion. He's a freak.
And maybe you walk into a room full of carbon and the maniacal laughing. Is that kind of the trigger for that? It's like, that's funny.
Nice. All right, cool.
And I think the scene we end on too is like it zooms out from him doing that into like the camera, and it's like the panel of like those like ESPN like news reporters or whatever, just being like, what in the world? Just like looking weird, like what's going on, and then we cut.
Sweet. There you go. That's been Heroes in Training.
Yep.
See you guys.
Ciao. Bye. Thanks for playing.